My stepmother accidentally destroyed my late mom's wedding dress that I was saving for my wedding. When she asked to borrow my beach house for her anniversary, I agreed. Then forgot to mention the sewage backup I'd known about. Her perfect celebration was literally full of shit. My mom passed away from cancer when I was 16. Before she died, she made my Aunt Madeline promise to keep her wedding dress safe for me. It was this gorgeous vintage dress from the early 90s, with delicate lace and tiny pearls that she'd hand-sewn herself. I have this one photo saved on my iPhone where she's twirling in it, looking so happy. That photo has been my lock screen for years. Every time I look at it, I remember how she used to say, "Some things are made with love," and you can feel it in every stitch. She spent 6 months adding those pearls one by one, while watching reruns of Friends on our old VHS tapes. My dad remarried Samantha 3 years after Mom died. Well, let's just say she's always trying too hard to be the perfect wife and mother, while constantly reminding everyone how much better she is at it than my mom was. She loves posting these staged family photos on her Instagram, usually with captions about blended family blessings and a bonus mom, even though I've told her multiple times I'm not comfortable with her using that term. Last Thanksgiving, she even made a TikTok about healing broken families, using our photos without asking permission. I found out when my college roommate sent me the link. Last month, I got engaged to Levi. When I told the family, Samantha immediately started planning our wedding on her Pinterest boards, despite me telling her I wanted something small and personal. She created this whole board called Modern Bride, Modern Life, and shared it with literally everyone in her Facebook mom group. But whatever, I could handle that. What I couldn't handle was what she did next. The dress was being stored at my mom's best friend Ivy's house, properly preserved in one of those special storage boxes. Yesterday, Samantha offered to help by picking up the dress since she was in the area and bringing it to my house. I was on a FaceTime call with my best friend Natalie when Samantha arrived, carrying the box like it was a bag of groceries. She set it down on my kitchen counter, right next to an open bottle of red wine. I remember thinking that was weird because Samantha doesn't even drink red wine. She's always going on about how she only drinks white because it's cleaner. Then she insisted on opening the box right there, even though I said we should wait and do it properly with my aunt present. You can probably guess what happened next. As she was accidentally pulling the dress out, her elbow happened to knock over the wine bottle. The entire thing spilled directly onto the dress. But here's the thing, her reaction was what got me. She didn't panic, she didn't rush to blot it or clean it. She just stood there for a second with this weird little smile before starting her dramatic "oh no" performance. It reminded me of those bad acting videos on YouTube where people fake reactions for insurance scams. I was still on FaceTime with Natalie, who saw the whole thing. She swears she saw Samantha's hand move toward the wine bottle before it fell, but the video quality wasn't great, so we can't be 100% sure. Natalie immediately started recording her screen though, because she said something felt off. I called my dad crying, and his response was typical. "Honey, it was just an accident. Samantha feels terrible. We can buy you any dress you want." He doesn't get that it's not about the dress itself. It's about the last piece of my mom that I had for my wedding day. This morning, Samantha had the nerve to send me a link to some $300 David's bridal dress with the message, "This would look so much better on you anyway." Then she posted this long Facebook status about accidents happening for a reason, and how sometimes we need to let go of the old to embrace the new. She tagged me in it, but I blocked her before I could see the comments. Then, she had the audacity to ask if she and Dad could use my beach house for their anniversary celebration next month. She knows it's the only thing I inherited from my mom's side of the family. It's this little cottage on the coast that my mom's parents left me, and Samantha's been trying to convince me to sell it since she married Dad. She even had a realtor friend accidentally listed online once. I told her, "Sure, of course," with a smile that would make her proud. Because what Samantha doesn't know is that I got a call from my handyman Joseph last week about a serious sewage issue that needs fixing. He sent me photos and detailed messages on WhatsApp showing the problems. I just haven't had time to deal with it yet. And honestly, I might be too busy to mention it to her before her big party. She's already posting about her perfect beach house anniversary celebration on Instagram, complete with rental furniture and a hired photographer. First update. Thanks everyone for the support on my last post. It really helped me get through the past few days. I've been hesitant to post this update because I wanted to be absolutely sure about what I found out. So here's what happened since then. After my last post, Ivy, Mom's friend who was storing the dress, called me sounding really uncomfortable. She said she'd been reviewing her Ring doorbell footage from that day because something had been bugging her. Turns out Samantha didn't just show up once to pick up the dress. The camera caught her doing a drive-by of Ivy's house around 8:30 a.m., circling the block twice. Ivy only noticed because her neighbor had texted her about a car driving slowly past their houses. She didn't think much of it at the time. When Samantha came back at 2:30 p.m. for the actual pickup, she had a Target bag with her. I know it's not concrete evidence of anything, but watching her carefully transfer something from the bag to her purse before ringing the doorbell just feels weird. The more I watch it, the more intentional everything seems. My stepsister Eva has been texting me little bits of information, but she's scared of getting too involved. She mentioned that Samantha had been weirdly fixated on my engagement announcement, spending hours on wedding planning websites even before I said anything about wanting to use Mom's dress. I wasn't going to do anything about my suspicions until I met my Aunt Madeline for coffee yesterday. She brought Dad's old laptop that she'd borrowed to do their taxes. She's been helping them with finances since Mom passed. She wanted to show me something she found while organizing their receipts. There was a Target purchase from the early morning of the incident. The items listed were a bottle of red wine, the exact brand that got spilled, some cleaning supplies, and one of those plastic drop cloths people use for painting. Samantha usually only buys white wine. She's always going on about how red wine stains her expensive veneers. The receipt timestamp was 6:45 a.m. When I showed Dad the Target receipt, he got really quiet. Not angry, just quiet. He kept rubbing his wedding ring, his first wedding ring, the one he still wears on his right hand. Finally, he said, "I didn't want to see it before, but there's been a pattern. I also have the screen recording Natalie took during our FaceTime call, but the video quality is too poor to definitively prove anything. Still, I'm keeping it along with all the other documentation." He told me about how last year's accidental donation of Mom's cookbooks wasn't so accidental. He'd found them in the garage, boxed up and labeled for donation, weeks before Samantha claimed she mistakenly included them in the charity pickup. He didn't say anything at the time because he thought maybe I wouldn't notice they were gone. The conversation with Dad was heavy. He didn't cry or make dramatic promises. He just sat there looking at his hands and said, "I messed up, didn't I? I let her do this." It was worse than if he'd gotten angry or emotional. Meanwhile, Samantha's been acting like nothing happened. She keeps sending me links to new dresses, each one with a message about how it would be so much more you than my mom's outdated dress. The beach house thing is still hanging over everything. She's already created a Facebook event for their anniversary party. 35 people confirmed attending so far, with more RSVPs still coming in. She keeps posting about her perfect beach getaway and tagging party rental companies in her Instagram stories. Yesterday, she sent me a long text about table arrangement and asked if the house has enough bathrooms for all the guests. I still haven't mentioned what Joseph, the handyman, told me about the septic system. The video he sent me last week shows it's actually getting worse. You can see water backing up in the yard after it rains. He said it needs fixing before any large gatherings, but I just keep forgetting to bring it up whenever Samantha calls. Eva's been staying at her friend's house more often. She says the atmosphere at home is getting weird. Samantha's been extra nice to her, buying her expensive gifts from Amazon and offering to take her on a spa day. Eva thinks she's trying to keep her quiet about something, but she's not sure what. The dress preservation specialist finally got back to me today. They said the wine stain was unusually concentrated in one area, like it had been poured rather than spilled. They also noticed some small snags in the lace that happened before the wine incident, probably from someone handling the dress roughly while it was still in the preservation box. I've been looking at that last photo I have of Mom in the dress. There's this little pearl detail on the sleeve that she used to say took her 3 nights to sew on while watching old episodes of Seinfeld. That part's completely dissolved now from the wine. It feels targeted, you know? Edit. A lot of you are asking what I'm planning to do about the beach house party. Honestly, I'm just going to let things play out naturally. The septic system is what it is. Edit 2. For those asking about the dress, yes, I'm keeping all the specialist documentation. No, I'm not planning legal action. Some things have a way of working themselves out. Edit 3. Dad just texted asking to come over tomorrow. He says he found some old photos of Mom he wants me to have. Maybe he's finally ready to really talk about everything. Second update. Thanks for all the messages checking in. A lot has happened this week, and I wanted to update you all on the beach house situation. So here's where things stand. Samantha's planning what she keeps calling an intimate gathering, though her guest list has somehow grown to 35 people. She texted me this morning asking about parking, how many cars can fit in the driveway, and bathroom situation. There are 2 bathrooms, right? That should be enough? I keep thinking about saying something about the septic system. Joseph, my regular handyman, sent me another text yesterday with a photo of the backyard after the rain. You can see the water pooling in places it shouldn't. And he said the smell is getting noticeable. His exact text, "Hey, wanted to follow up about that septic estimate. Really needs addressing before any big gatherings. Getting worse with the rain." Joseph explained that while the septic system has ongoing issues, the problems become much more noticeable during rain and would definitely be catastrophic with heavy usage from a large gathering. Dad stopped by yesterday. He's been quiet since everything with the dress, spending more time at the house he shared with Mom before Samantha. He sat at my kitchen counter, looking through some old beach house photos he found in a drawer. "Remember when the shower broke that one summer?" he said. "Your mom made us all use the outdoor hose for 2 days. She said it was camping." Then he got this look on his face and asked, "Should I be worried about anything with the house? For the party?" I just shrugged and said everything was fine. He studied me for a minute, then nodded slowly. I think he knows something's up, but he's not asking directly. Eva's been texting me updates about Samantha's preparations. Nothing crazy, just standard party stuff. She ordered some decorations from Amazon, string lights, some beach-themed centerpieces, and she's having the event catered by a local deli. Eva sent me a photo of all the party supplies spread out on their dining room table. "Mom's actually being kind of normal about this," she wrote. "Almost makes me feel bad about what might happen. Almost. The weird part is how Samantha's been acting toward me lately. She's trying really hard to be nice, sending casual texts about the party plans, asking my opinion on little details like she's including me. Yesterday, she even sent a message saying she hoped I'd be there to celebrate with them. It would almost feel genuine if I couldn't still picture that little smile when she spilled the wine on Mom's dress. I did check out her Facebook page through Eva's account since she blocked me after the dress incident. She's keeping it pretty low-key, just a few posts about looking forward to a beautiful celebration, with some beach emoji. Nothing too over the top, which actually makes me more suspicious. Joseph sent another update this morning. The septic company gave him an estimate for repairs. It's expensive, but that's not even the main issue. They said it needs immediate attention, especially with heavy use. He forwarded me a photo showing where the ground is starting to sink a bit near the tank. His message was pretty clear. This is going to be a problem with 30+ people. I keep picking up my phone to warn Samantha, but then I remember little things, like how she accidentally donated Mom's cookbooks last year, or how Mom's jewelry keeps disappearing whenever Samantha reorganizes things, or that satisfied look when the wine spilled exactly where it would do the most damage to Mom's dress. Eva came over for coffee this morning. She was helping Samantha pack supplies for the party and found the receipt for that bottle of red wine in Samantha's purse. "You know what's weird?" she said. "Mom never drinks red wine, says it stains her teeth, but she specifically bought that bottle the morning before going to get the dress. The party's this Saturday." Samantha texted asking if I could leave the key under the mat on Friday so they can set up early. She wants to arrange the furniture and set up a drink station near the downstairs bathroom. I replied with a simple, "Sure, no problem," and turned off my notifications. The septic issue isn't my fault. I didn't break it. I didn't make it worse. It's just unfortunate timing that it's happening now. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Edit. Eva just sent a photo of Samantha's party outfit. It's all white, because of course it is. Third update. So the beach house party happened yesterday, and it went exactly as expected, though the aftermath is more intense than I anticipated. I drove by around noon when guests were arriving. Classic setup. White chairs, flowers, catering tables. Samantha was wearing this expensive white dress, directing people where to put things. The problem started slowly. Eva texted around 1:30. "Bad smell in the backyard. Mom's getting annoyed." Then, "Downstairs toilet won't flush properly." By 2 p.m., both bathrooms were having issues. People kept asking about the smell, but Samantha was still trying to maintain control, telling everyone it was probably just low tide. Around 2:30, my neighbor called. "There's something wrong with your yard. Water's coming up everywhere." Eva's texts got more frequent. "The ground's getting really soft." Mom's freaking out at the catering staff because people keep asking to use their van's bathroom. Then it all fell apart during their toast. The ground was so saturated that part of the deck area sank. Not dramatically, but enough to destabilize the buffet table. Their anniversary cake ended up sliding right into the mess. That's when Samantha stepped into what she thought was just wet grass and sank ankle deep in it, in her white dress, in front of her entire social circle. People started leaving pretty quickly after that. Not in a panic, but with that awkward, "oh, would you look at the time" energy. The smell had gotten impossible to ignore, and the wet spots in the yard were spreading. This is where things got ugly. Samantha completely lost it, started screaming that I'd deliberately sabotaged her party, that I'd planned this whole thing. She was calling people from her phone right there in the yard, frantically trying to find a lawyer who'd take her call on a Saturday, all while standing there in her ruined dress, mascara running. Dad's reaction wasn't the calm disappointment I expected. He was furious, both at me and Samantha. Started yelling about how much this was going to cost to fix, how irresponsible everyone was being. He kept switching between being angry about the septic system and demanding to know why Samantha had planned such a big party without checking about maintenance issues first. Eva recorded some of it on her phone. Samantha screaming about lawsuits and defamation, Dad yelling about property damage, guests quickly backing out of the driveway. It was chaos. I've gotten about 30 texts from Samantha since yesterday. They range from legal threats to guilt trips to straight-up rage. "You planned this. My lawyer will hear about this. You've ruined everything. Just like your mother, always having to be the victim." Dad's been calling nonstop too. He's not as philosophical as before, mostly concerned about the cost of repairs and saying things like, "I don't even know whose side I'm supposed to be on here," and "You're both acting like children." He's sleeping at his brother's house because apparently Samantha's still too upset to even look at him for not taking her side. The damage is real though. The yard's destroyed, the downstairs carpet's ruined, and the septic system obviously needs replacing. Joseph sent an estimate. It's significant. Samantha's already posted in our neighborhood Facebook group asking for recommendations for lawyers who handle property damage and intentional emotional distress cases. Eva's been sending updates all day. Apparently Samantha's called every friend she has, telling them I deliberately sabotaged her party out of jealousy. She's already had 3 different contractors out to document the damage for potential legal action. I finally blocked Samantha's number after her last message. "You think you're so clever? Just wait. That beach house won't be yours for long once I'm done with the lawyers. Hope it was worth it." Last update. It's been about a month since the septic tank disaster at my beach house. I wasn't planning to post another update, but enough has happened that I wanted to share how things actually played out. The immediate aftermath was exactly what you'd expect. Samantha contacted 3 different lawyers, but it fizzled out pretty quickly once they saw Joseph's documented warnings about the septic system. Turns out, negligent property owner claims don't go far when you plan a 35-person event without asking basic maintenance questions. The repair costs were brutal, about $21,000 for the new septic system, plus another $3,000 for yard repair and carpet replacement. Insurance covered part of it after my deductible, but it's still a huge hit to my savings. Dad offered to split the costs, which led to a huge fight between him and Samantha. They're still arguing about it. Samantha's not speaking to me, obviously. She's switched to communicating through passive-aggressive Facebook posts about toxic family members and property damage. Dad's trying to play peacekeeper, which is going about as well as you'd expect. He'll call me to talk about repairs or costs, then get quiet when I bring up the dress incident. Last week he said, "I know you both did wrong things. Can't we just move past it?" Classic Dad, avoiding conflict while trying to keep everyone happy. Eva's been caught in the middle. She stays with me some weekends, but Samantha started making comments about family loyalty, so now Eva's walking on eggshells. She deleted the videos she took at the party after Samantha went through her phone while she was sleeping. The beach house repairs are finally done. The new septic system works fine, the yard's been restored, and the carpet's been replaced. The cleanup company did a good job. You wouldn't know there had been a disaster if you didn't know where to look. Here's the weird part. This whole thing has had ripple effects I didn't expect. My Aunt Madeline isn't speaking to Dad because he wouldn't take a side. 2 of my cousins canceled their usual beach week booking because they don't want to get involved. Family events are awkward now, with everyone trying to schedule around who's not speaking to whom. Samantha's still living at home, but she's been taking space to heal by spending weekends at her sister's house. She's talking about wanting to move to a bigger house anyway, saying the current one has too many negative memories now. Dad just looks tired whenever it comes up. The dress is still hanging in my closet. I tried having it professionally restored, but they said the wine damage is permanent. I've started looking at new wedding dress styles online. It's not the same, but I'm trying to focus on the future instead of what I lost. Eva told me yesterday that Samantha's been checking property listings for beach houses in a different area. Apparently, she's determined to have a do-over anniversary celebration next year, just without certain people involved. Dad stopped by last weekend to check on the repairs. He walked around the yard, looking at everything, then just said, "Your mom would hate what this house has done to the family." Not exactly the profound moment of realization I think some people were expecting. The reality is, there's no dramatic conclusion here. No one's getting divorced, no one's had an epic revelation, and the family's not suddenly united and understanding. It's just tense holidays ahead, and carefully planned scheduling to avoid awkward encounters. Edit. To those asking about legal consequences, the lawyers basically said everyone should drop it and move on. No one has a strong case either way. Edit 2. Yes, I'm still planning to get married at the beach house. Samantha's already said she won't attend if I do. Dad's stressed about it, but that's a problem for future me.